Yeah, no, really happy with him. He obviously arrived last Tuesday, so he's had sort of 10 days here and seems to settle into it really, really nicely. He's a big, beautiful horse. I think he weighs nearly 100 kilos more than Lake Forest, which is it's like having little and large out here. But he seems to be loving it, eating really well. He's put on a bit of weight since he arrived, so it's been pretty straightforward.
And Lake Forest, how'd that one sort of respond?
Yeah, he's bounced out the run, cantering as normal, and we're really happy with where he's at. So onwards and upwards as far as that's concerned.
You joke about the big sissy, but have you spoken to Maureen? How's she feeling about Lake Forest run? Has she watched it again?
I think it was a frustrating day, and he's a horse that is a little bit quirky, and he takes a bit of time to respond, and you have to keep at him. And unfortunately, we didn't see the best of him on Saturday. And I can really sympathise with her frustration, because it's not just about her and the boss and the owners. Obviously they are a huge part of it, but these horses, it takes a small army to get them down here and to have them in the best form possible. So whether it's the jockey's fault or not, when things don't go right, it is intensely frustrating. And I think it's been a bit of a storm in a teacup, and I'm kind of looking forward to my phone not blowing up anymore. But that it just is what it is.
Are you happy with Australian jockeys?
Yeah, I'm always, it's not always possible to have our guys, and obviously we love our guys. They're our boys. Tom and Kieran are, in my opinion, two of the best jockeys in the world, and they're both incredibly strong, and they're part of the team, which really, really helps. And you know them well enough, and they know the horses well enough, which is a huge part of it as well. So but no, I'm absolutely not opposed to using Aussie jockeys. Sometimes you have to. It was British Champions Day on Saturday, and the boys were riding there for good reason. So it is what it is, and hopefully we can kind of all move forward and just continue to have a bit of a laugh about it.
Is you all the instructions was that before the race?
We kept it pretty open. The horse is lazy, and he was sort of told that, and he was told sort of, get him into a nice rhythm. But when they go to pick up, you're going to have to get after him, because he's not a horse that does it by himself. He's got loads of gears, but if you watch any of his runs, he requires quite a lot of cajoling, and then he picks up. And I think he just wasn't possibly given that opportunity on Saturday, and Zach felt like he kind of wasn't going anywhere underneath him, which is a little bit what he does. And luckily he's not given him a hard time, and he's come out of the race in really good order. So that's a flip side to it. He's not had a hard race, and we're kind of onwards and upwards to Melbourne.
I'm surprised to see the horse step so slowly from the gates. Like, he does take a bit of time to go through cues, but he was slow out of the gates.
Yeah, he does that though as well. That's sort of him a bit. He is very, very laid back. I mean, you see him cantering around here. He's laid back around here. Not much phases him, and he does step slow. And I thought he kind of got into a nice position, and then he was kind of checked and shuffled back a little bit, and it didn't go right for us on Saturday. But the horse is fine, and that's the most important thing.
Tom will come down to ride him at Flemington?
Yeah, I think Tom's coming to Flemington, and Kieran's going to come here for Bullet Point.
Just back on Bullet Point, why the 5 diamonds? Why was the thinking and targeting this race?
Oh, look, he's a really nice miler. He's not a horse that's sort of stepped into group company yet, and the boss is, with horses like that who are kind of quite progressive, the boss sort of likes to keep them at a level before he kind of steps them up through the ranks, and I think it looks like a really nice race for him.
Nice, easy work for Bullet Point this morning. You'll ramp them up over the next couple of days.
Yeah, we'll probably do a little bit more with them tomorrow, Lake Forest as well. And then Tom gets out here next week at some stage, so they'll have a proper piece next week. But yeah, we're pretty easy on them the first week and a half. They don't need to do a lot. They're horses they're fit. They've had their preparation. They come down here and they're in full swing. So they actually don't require a lot. It's maintenance work day to day, and I like to give them as much time as possible, because I think, again, sort of, it takes a small army to get them down here. It's also a lot for the horses, and we're obviously very conscious of their temperatures and their hydration and all of that, but I know how I feel after a really long flight, and their flights are longer, and it's more foreign for them. So just plenty of time, and he'll ramp up over the next week.
Tell us a bit more about Bullet Point. He's a big horse. What's his
Oh, look, he's pretty straightforward. He's probably another one who he's had a couple of close calls in the summer, and he's one that probably also wants to come quite late. But that's fine, and Kieran's very good at that, as we saw in the Golden Eagle last year. But he was just touched off at Ascot, probably a little bit unlucky not to win that day. He won nicely at Newmarket at the beginning of the season, and he won nicely again at York. So he's a horse that's got a really nice profile, and I think he'll do well down here.
Yeah, he looks good. He travelled well, and they're happy with him.
The facilities here, what do you make of the Canterbury Park?
Oh, absolutely magnificent. The groom and staff, very happy with the facility, and very happy with them.
Thank you for choosing Australia to travel your horse to. The Golden Eagle's growing as a race. Was that pivotal in the decision for the connections to bring the horse down here?
Yeah, I think the owners love Australia racing, and this particular horse would challenge for the big prize money and bring the trouble companion, and hard to say, but they would like to challenge a good race.
Years ago, the race is increasing in stature.
Absolutely, like last year, so many Group 1 winners come out from the Golden Eagle, and I reckon going to be same this year.
Talk us about the Sana and the role that horse is going to play, particularly for the jockey, I think. Talk us through that.
Yeah, so the trouble companion Sana come for the jockey to ride, make sure he get around get around the track before the Golden Eagle. So we're going to run in the benchmark race before the Golden Eagle, and then jockey to get a feel on the track.
Is that something that you guys do a lot of when you go around, or is this a unique thing?
I think this is a unique thing. Connections decision to bring the horse to make sure give jockey one ride before the big race.
And what are your thoughts on Randwick? The race has moved to Randwick from Rosehill this year.
They reckon suit him, and unfortunately, it's a little bit smaller field this year, so may favour him to run in this little bit smaller field. Obviously, if you're racing in Rosehill, get 20 or more field, but this year a little bit less, so which could be help.
You've got a pretty unique perspective that you work with Chris Waller and he's got the favourite Autumn Glow. How do you think Canterbury?
Oh, I love to see the race, to be honest. Also, Lion Becker's going to be in the race, and I'm kind of one fan to watch the good horses crash each other's, and all the fan wants. And I can't wait to see the race on next Saturday.
Is Autumn Glow the one to worry about?
They said all the locals going to be good horses, so they thought like we were challenger, and then they told me so.
What about Panther Tower's racing style? He talks about Panther Tower's racing style.
And he's quite versatile. He can be on pace. He can be just off the pace, and he raced his record. Pretty much set himself. He already Group 1 winner, won the first start in 1200 metre unsuitable distance, and I would say something like that. Yeah.
So the trainer, Mr. Hashiguchi, when Panjatawa won the 10HK mile, he said early in his interview that this horse is going to come to Sydney to race in the Golden Eagle. So obviously that race is in front of mind for connections that win that particular race. Tell us a little bit more about the trainer, if you know a bit of his background.
So he trainer, son of legendary trainer Mr. Hashiguchi. I think he go through the ranks, the training ranks at the moment in JRA, and his father Hashiguchi, he trained a lot of Group 1 horses back in the day, and I think the sons continue his legacy.
Yeah, he's really in a good shape. We've been very happy with his works. He traveled really well here, and he settled in. He seems really relaxed now, so we are really happy with this process.
Talk to about the journey to come to Sydney. How hard is it to get a horse to here, and what goes into it?
Well, I mean, it's not really easy. You know, it's not too close, of course, and the cost-wise, it's really hard to come here. But we are really excited about coming to Australia.
And why this race?
Well, I mean, there's not many options for him, especially like 1300, 1400. There's no $1 million race in Japan, so we think it's a good option, a good opportunity for him. So that's why we came here.
He's a horse that led a lot in his last prep. Is that going to be the plan in the Russell boarding, to try and go forward and make his own luck?
Well, his last start was 1200, and he kind of got back, and then he showed he's a good town of a hood. So I'm not sure. You know, there are good sprinters here in Australia. So we don't really know, but it's up to Moreira and how he jumps. So it's hard to tell.
Well, it was always a target after his winning at the Group 3 Bonham Stakes at Goodwood. Hugo was really keen and interested to come. We did end up going to York in between. He was undecided if we'd go anywhere in between. We did. He finished 8th out of 10, but only 4 lengths off the leader in a Group 1, so we were still quite positive from the run. Probably didn't run in our favour the race. The favourite came up the middle. The winner ended up coming up the stand rail. We probably drawn out too wide. But yeah, we still aimed to come to here, and Hugo fired the whole way. Made sure the owners wanted to come, and yeah, we knuckled down, come to the Golden Eagle. And I think with Lake Forest winning last year, I thought Hugo probably thought that we've got a good chance, obviously, with a British horse winning the race last year. And it's quite similar related, as the Brighton chairman owns Lake Forest, and the Brighton footballers that own Seagulls 11, obviously there's a bit of a connection, so fingers crossed the players can bring the trophy back home this year. And
so will they be watching it at the football club? How will it go?
Well, so when he won at Goodwood, all the lads were in the changing room, and they had it on a big projector screen, and they were cheering him home. There was a video that went viral, and yeah, they love it. And fingers crossed, I know it'll be silly o'clock at their time, but I'd like to hope the lads will be up watching it, and I'm certainly sure they probably will be, as they're very, very invested in the horse and horse racing itself.
And so how's he travelled? How's he looking today?
Yeah, he looks brilliant. He's just galloped, done an excellent piece of work, turned in, gone over 6 furlongs, steady away, turned in on the home bend and really stretched clear. Imi, his rider, is very, very happy with him. He came over amazing. He settled in Newmarket. We flew over about 10, 11 days ago, and he settled straight in. He's calmed right down. He's a very big, boisterous, energetic horse at home, and he is quite a handful. But out here, he's calmed down. He's really settled to the environment. I think he loves the change of scenery, and he's just really thriving being on the grass out here, because we don't get the privilege at home. We've only got a poly track, which is on a bit of a hill, and I think just being on the grass and being out here, he just thrives off the sun and the grass and being on a racetrack every day. I think it's just getting better for him. So fingers crossed that it works.
You talk about the horse's temperament. That makes him the perfect horse to travel?
Yeah, he is a hothead, but he's not like, he doesn't take it. It's not anger. It's not like he wants to hurt you. He's just very, very energetic and buzzy. But to be travelling out here, it's probably done him the world of good, rather than being at home stuck in his box. And we took him to the Breeders' Cup last year. He travelled out there great. He was still a colt out in the Breeders' Cup. We gelded him at the start of this year after the Guineas, and that calmed him down. And I think travelling out here has probably settled him even more than it has done anywhere else.
The race and the carnival growing in stature, obviously with Lake Forest winning last year, and
Yeah.
you up down here this year. What's the buzz like back at home?
Yeah, everyone's really looking forward to it. It's a race Hugo really, really wants to win, and it was straight on his mind the minute he crossed the line at Goodwood. and it's been the aim ever since Goodwood, and it's been the talk of the yard. Everyone's really looking forward to it, and hopefully we can take back a lot of prize money. Yeah.
And seeing William Haggis and Izzy travel and do so well and talk about the facilities must make it.
Yeah, and Izzy is a massive help to everybody here. She has done it many times, had many Group 1 success, the Golden Eagle. She's brilliant at what she does. She trains well. She does everything that you need to do. She ticks every box. She's just a great asset to learn from. And she's a huge help to me and Imi, as both being young people in the job. Being our first trip abroad together without a senior member of staff, she's helped us an awful lot, and just seeing their success can help us build our success. Fingers crossed.
Josh, tell us a little bit more about Seagull's 11 and his racing style and ground conditions. What would suit him if it was an ideal scenario for him?
He's a very, very easy horse, as he's won on soft ground and quick ground. He's in the UK, there's a lot of undulating, turning type tracks. He's a very balanced horse, and he's very easy to ride, as you can either lead on him or you can take a sit. In his Group 3 win at Goodwood, the plan was to take a sit. We thought Ryan Moore would go forward on King of Cities. That wasn't really the plan, as they missed the jump and we got out to the front and O'Sheen went straight to plan B. So he is very easy, and like he can go on various different grounds. He can go on quick ground, soft ground. So that helps us, obviously, with it being very hot out here. Most likely it'll be quick ground. We're hoping for some rain, maybe, as a little bit of rain would help to our favour, but he's very easy to switch and he can go on quick ground, as he won second time out at Haydock on quick ground and has ran on it since and ran well. So yeah, fingers crossed that it'll be hopefully a little bit of rain, but if not, we're sure we'll be fine.
A bit to play out before the race with barrier draws and everything, but do you think the plan would be to sit on speed?
I think so. Yeah, we'd like to follow something, as that is our normal plan. But he is very quick out the gates, so we can resort to plan B pretty early if something doesn't jump with us. We're hoping something will jump out, get in front, and we can sit off the lead and we'll follow him, travel us into the race. Yeah, we're not sure, obviously, with it being out here, how well everything will jump. We don't know really, never really watch what's in the race. I know Autumn Glow, she likes to jump quick and she gets out, so she might be a nice filly to follow, as she's been very well success the last couple of weeks, or the last months. So she might be a nice horse to follow, but there's plenty of nice horses in the race that we can sit and follow from, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of pace in the race, as there's a lot of prize money to go for, so I'm sure everyone will want to be first over the winning line.
Josh, have you picked the jockey to ride him?
We think Tom Marquand will ride, and Tom's success over here is very, very well known. He's had multiple Group 1 winners on Dubai Honour, Adayeb. He's well known over here. So he rode him in the Guineas. That didn't go to plan, but gelding him, we gelded him straight after, and that's kind of changed the horse he was in the way he's racing. So Tom's sat on him before, and we're hoping he might get a sit on him next week if he comes out a couple of days before, to just get another feel of him and see how Tom thinks. But yeah, after this morning's gallop, I'm not sure if we'll gallop again, but obviously Mr. Palmer will choose if he wants to gallop again, but Tom will most likely ride.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the location where Hugo trains? It's north. You usually get horses from Newmarket. Tell us a little bit about your home, or where Seagull's 11 is trained.
So we're based in a yard in Cheshire, up north. We have our own private facility, so we only have one gallop. It's 1.2 miles, but we mainly train from the 4.5 furlongs up the straight, a bit like Warren Hill and Newmarket, but obviously in Newmarket you have numerous gallops to gallop on, and so yeah. But when we work from home, we either work from the 6 or the 7, which is what he's done today. It's very private. Obviously you don't really get as much big owners because you're so far out, but we do have very good owners that support our yard. We do have big owners that are still in our yard, and I think the way Hugo adapted since coming up from Newmark, having so many gallops, to trying to train onto just one, he's done it very well and had a lot of success. Especially this year, we've had 3 Group 3 winners in the space of a week. We went back to back, and then Seagulls 11 won at Goodwood the following week. So there is good ways to train at the yard whilst being so restricted at the same time.